war that goes on during a political season. That's next. All right, back with Ron Johnson. So it's I guess it's just about the entrenched, bought and paid for by the Democratic National Committee news media versus Republican candidates. Senator, look, I'm looking at this piece and in the Vice column, and I'm thinking to myself, number one, it's a pretty lame political hit, but number two, it's a lie. And so that just says to me that what you're up against not only is going to be radio advertisements trying to counter you, that your opponent's campaign is going to pay for, but you're also up against the earned media, as they call it, the free media of the newspapers, trying to take shots at you simultaneously. I'm looking at this piece, Ron, on you just being a no-show at the Department of Homeland Security Committee meetings. And number one, I know that's wrong, but let's just jump in on that. No-show, you're just a slacker, Ron Johnson.
What's so galling about the piece is it paints such a false narrative. If anybody knows me, they know how incredibly hard I work. And you know what a typical day is, Vicki? Probably up about 5 o'clock, and I go to sleep reading briefing materials sometime around 10:30 and 11. And by the way, it's not unusual. You've probably gotten some emails from me penned about 3:30 in the morning. So it's a completely false narrative, and it's just galling. And what's interesting about the article is they basically admit that it's a completely unfair attack. I mean, if somebody, and I don't recommend anybody read it, but if they were actually read the article, they say, no, it's really not fair to point out what we're pointing out, but it's effective, and so we're going to do it. So, no, it's a very galling piece. I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to defend myself. But, listen, I've been working hard. There are priorities you have to set. I mean, we're all on, my first 2 years, I was on 5 different committees with multiple subcommittees. These committees meet at the same time. So you have to pick and choose. And by the way I do committee hearings, I fully attend. I get there for the testimony. I sit and ask thoughtful questions because, by the way, they're my questions. I don't read questions prepared by the staff. I pre-prepare and I understand what the subject matter is, which is, by the way, how I elicited out of Hillary Clinton what difference at this point does it make, because I just ask questions and they're relevant because I do my homework. I'm working hard. It's a completely false narrative in that story, and it is galling.
I know, particularly because you're thinking, they're hitting me on the one thing that is a complete, they're basically saying something that's a complete lie, and they're hitting you where you live. That's what they're trying to do here. All right, just so that everybody understands that it's not just Ron Johnson saying so. You can actually go check the attendance. Ron Johnson has been to most Homeland Security Committee meetings, most of his committee meetings, period. But even Democrats recognize that you are kind of unique among senators in your commitment to attendance, to your involvement in the committee process. And I happen to have, it's very short, Ron, so please indulge me. I happen to have about 58 seconds, and I mean, there's, 6 or 7 Democrats. These are Democrats who are basically saying, gee, Ron Johnson, thanks so much for all the work you do. Just play this, please.
Senator Johnson, thanks for being here. I must say, since you've come to the Senate and joined the committee, you've really been very faithful in attending our hearings, and as chairman, I appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's important work, so I'm glad to do it.
I just want to say, Senator Johnson, I don't always get to come to these hearings, but you are, as Senator, the chairman has noted, a faithful attender and a faithful participant, and I certainly commend you for that.
We had Senator Johnson was there. He asked really good questions.
No, I love it. I love it. Your questions were great.
I just want to start by expressing my gratitude to the ranking member and to the chairman for having this hearing. It has been probably the best experience I've had in the United States Senate since I began about 18, 19 months ago, to find such bipartisan willingness to deal with issues of justice in our country.
And as my chairman has been doing a tremendous job on leading as well on some very important issues to me, both personally and professionally.
That audio is all talking about you, Ron. So those are all Democrats.
Let me tell you who that was. You had Chairman Lieberman, who was the chairman the first 2 years in Homeland Security, then Tom Carper, who then became the next chairman and now is my ranking member, then Senator Boxer, Senator Rockefeller, and finally Senator Booker talking about me as chairman being incredibly bipartisan, working on important issues, calling a hearing on something that he said was his best moment in the Senate in 19 months. There's the truth. That's the correct narrative versus, what was written in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel here. Again, it's galling to me the way they're approaching that. So that's all I can say. So I appreciate you playing that clip.
Yeah, because this is the one in particular the Homeland Security Committee is the committee that people would think, whether they understand the committee process or not, oh my gosh, you're slacking on that one. No, you're not. And the only person who was saying you are is wrote basically what amounted to a campaign press release in the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel yesterday. Yeah, I saw that too, and I thought this is trying to get you where you live, because I know that I do get those emails from you at the wee hours of the morning and wonder what the heck you're doing up. Because I'm thinking
worrying.
Sleep. Yeah, I know you're worrying. And it is Homeland Security that we're not paying the kind of attention to that we need to pay attention to, at least not